After the history you have with the FBI, from Russia collusion to undermining you.
To the raid of Mar-a-Lago and lots of other things, because the FBI has such potential. And they're looking into what happened with the, how a thing like that could have happened. And it's a very friendly meeting. I have no doubt about that. They want to find out, and I'm somebody that wants to.
Former President Trump sitting down with Maria right before he was interviewed by the FBI about the assassination attempt on his life last month. Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe taking full responsibility for the mission failure Friday, while insisting the agency did not know the shooter had a gun until after he opened fire. Rowe also admitting the Secret Service has not interviewed local law enforcement working the Butler rally and denied a whistleblower's claim he personally directed cuts to the counter-surveillance division. A new AP North Center poll finds 50% of U.S. adults say political division is responsible for the assassination attempt. 43% blame the Secret Service. Joining me now is Texas Congressman Pat Fallon. He's a member of the House Armed Services and Oversight Committees. He's also a member of the bipartisan task force investigating the attempted assassination of President Trump. So, Congressman, can you update us this morning on where the investigation stands?
Yes. What we have to do, Cheryl, is we have to find out the how and the why, so we can get to the never, so we can ensure that this never happens again. And our goal is to get very granular as to the events on the 13th of July. So we're going to interview every law enforcement officer that was there on site, whether it's state, local, or FBI. That's our intent as well, because, we need an independent investigation. And as you know, too many federal agencies get into cover your backside. And we have to ensure that the Secret Service is the preeminent protection agency in the world. And right now, clearly, they aren't.
Well, Congressman Corey Mills joined us last hour. He himself has military experience as a sniper, and he was shocked when he went to Butler, Pennsylvania, about how close that roof was to the rally stage, and also about the lack of action from the Secret Service snipers. Yes, they killed Thomas Crooks, but the fact that they did not see the weapon, that local law enforcement missed somebody walking around with a rangefinder.
Yeah, it's obviously a lot easier to prevent this from happening in the first place rather than reacting to it. We recreated the events at Butler in Savoy, Texas, and I was laying prone on a roof that was sloped at 130 yards with a red dot scope and a magnified scope, because we didn't know at the time which scope the shooter had used. And I hit a headshot 15 out of 16 times. So it is a miracle President Trump is alive. And that's why I couldn't understand this is why I asked fortunately former Director Cheadle, how in the world the AGR building wasn't secured when it was clearly, according, when you look at a satellite image, Cheryl, of the site at the fairgrounds of Butler, that was the first building that you should secure. There was nobody even on the water tower that could have covered that. They should have used anti-drone technology, and they should have had their own drones as well. So the colossal and catastrophic failures really leave you scratching your head.
Yeah. Real quick, I do want to point our viewers' attention, sir, to the fact that the Dow futures number is now down 1,000. We are now down 1,052 on Dow Jones futures. We are watching a major market sell-off this morning. NASDAQ down 979. So I did want to point out that to our viewers, sir. But let me ask you now to put on your Armed Services Committee hat. I want to talk about what's happening in the Middle East. Israel is now bracing for this potential retaliatory attack from Iran following the assassinations of these top Hezbollah and Hamas leaders. Secretary of State Blinken reportedly told G7 leaders yesterday that the attack on Israel could happen as soon as today. Iran apparently is telling diplomats they don't care if the attacks trigger a larger war. Last week, the White House did announce this new defensive military deployment that's supposed to help Israel. We know a lot of the ships are now out there. Your reaction to what you're seeing happen in the Middle East?
You know what would have been better, and it's a great question, is if the Biden administration had enforced the economic sanctions against Iran like President Trump did. Because when President Trump left office, their oil revenue was about $8 billion a year. And now it's over $43 billion. And you can cause a lot of mayhem and mischief with an additional $35 or so billion. So that's the first thing. And Iran, when you don't have any legitimacy and the people don't elect you to office, they are, catering to a domestic audience, and they want to look tough. And of course, they say that we're the great Satan and Israel's the little Satan and all that. So it's a lot of bluster. But I tell you right now, we cannot fight tomorrow's wars with yesterday's technology. We really need to invest in using some venture capital partners, a better way to shoot down drones and dominate the skies.
Well, certainly all eyes are on the U.S. Navy this morning and other forces that are working right now to help protect our ally, and that is Israel. Congressman Pat Fallon. Congressman, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. God bless. Take care.
All right. Salute to you, sir.